Hello guys, it's Will from AI Automation Agents, and today I just wanted to do a quick demo on how you can build a chatbot to capture leads on your page. And we're going to be using Botpress to create the bot and Airtable to send the leads into. Um, so first I'll do a quick demo of how it's going to look, and then I'll quickly explain what Botpress and Airtable is. Then we'll build the bot and we'll install the bot and test the bot. So let's get started. So here I have a simple React app that I'm hosting locally, and I've installed this bot on here. As you can see, I've already tested this. So initially, the user says hi, then the bot asks what's your name, the email, phone number, and the issue. So like, how can we help you? Of course, you can add however many fields you want in here, but for now, this is what I created. And you can send a message, thank you for contacting us, and we'll get back to you. So let's get started. So really quick, Botpress. What Botpress is, it allows you to create chatbots, and it supports a lot of functionality. So you can have a knowledge base, and the bot will use some machine learning and AI to try to answer questions for the user. You can write code in it to connect different systems, but it's just a very conversational AI chatbot. And then Airtable, it's essentially like a spreadsheet and a database combined. It just allows you to organize data, create objects, and like connect those objects together. So here it is. This is a view I created, and it's just a simple table that it's going to hold our leads. So let's get started on creating the bot. So the first step we want to do is we might just want to greet the user. I want to say, hi. So for that, we're going to use this send text widget. And then we want to get started and start collecting the information. So first we're going to ask the user for their name. So for that one, I'm just going to use capture card raw input. And here we're going to input our question. So what is your name? And then we need to store this in a variable. So you can create a variable here. So by just typing, so you can say like username. Create variable, and it'll just create it for you in the background. And after that, we want to collect the email address. So we'll drag the email address. And so some of these will actually kind of just parse the user input and just collect, in this case, the email address. But as you can see, there's others like date, time, color, price. So they're very useful for that. For email, let's just change the prompt. What is your email? And then we're going to create a variable here, call it user email, create variable. And we're going to collect the phone number. So what is your phone number? We're going to create another variable. There you go. And lastly, we're going to collect another raw input. And this is going to be like, how can we help you? Please describe your request. And let's create a variable for that. Just call it user description. So once you have all of this, let's connect it to the start. And then what we want to do is once we've collected everything, we want to write some code. And in here, it's actually pretty neat. Botpress allows you to, it uses AI, so you can like give it a prompt and it'll write kind of like a code template for you. So if you know a little bit of code, you should be able to kind of like use these templates and connect whatever you're trying to do with the code. So in this example, I'm just gonna say write some code that will take the username, user email, user phone, and user description and send it to Airtable using Airtable's API. So you press enter and you see I'll create an outline here. Of course, in my use case, I need to edit this, so I'll just copy the code. Then I'll click here to disable, kind of like, because if you don't disable it, it won't allow you to edit the code. So I've disabled it. And so if you already have Airtable, in Airtable, you're going to need to create a API key. So once you get that, you can come in here and you will paste it in here. So in my case, Botpress has this neat feature where you can create environment variables, and those can be accessed like in any flow throughout this chatbot. So here you can see I created this Airtable variable, Airtable base ID, and the table ID, which is everything I need to push my data over to Airtable. So now the way we want to reference this is by calling env. So that's the kind of like the object that holds those variables, and we're going to select those. So the key, the base ID, and the table ID. So this line of code up here, what it's doing is just extracting basically all these values from the workflow. So workflow is an object that Botpress uses to store all those variables we created for each of the inputs. So you can see that here. And then here it's using those variables in the payload. So this is what we're going to send over to Airtable. In my case, I need to update these a little bit just because they need to match what the column headers in Airtable, the ones you created, it needs to match those headers. So name, email, description, and phone number. So let's take a look here. So name, email, phone number needs to be phone number. And I'm just going to go ahead. You can't have spaces in a nested object, so I'll just wrap these in a variable, in a string, I mean. There you go. And then here, this is the headers for the API call we're going to make. So here you can see we have the authorization, and it's referencing the API key up here. This is just standard describing the payload. And then here's where it actually executes the API call. And what await means is like the API call is going to execute, and then it's going to continue with the next action. So here it's giving me an error. So it's saying this variable doesn't exist. So I think it's because I named it user phone number. So we need to update it here as well. So once we have this, we can go ahead and close it. And then we want to use this expression. And this is just how you connect one node to the next. We want to add another expression here. And then we want to let the user know that we've received the request and that we will contact them. Oops, I connected the wrong thing. Let's realize it. That seems like a bug. Make sure it's good. Oh, I just refreshed and fixed it. Nice. And so here we want to send a message and we want to say, thank you. We will get back to you as soon as possible. And then you can actually add emojis in here. So I'll just add a smiley face. And then we want to use another expression to end the flow. And so you can test the flow here as well. So this is just like a quick emulator of the flow. So let's click here to restart. And if we say hi, what is your name? We'll say testing from Botpress. Testing Botpress at gmail.com. And then what is your phone number? Just give it a fake phone number. And then I need help setting up a bot. And so now I should make that API call. So you took a little bit and then you get the message, thank you, we'll get back to you. So if you go back here, we should see another lead. There it is. That's the lead that just got pushed. So once you've tested that this works, we'll just go ahead and publish the flow or publish the bot. And then I'll walk through how you can add this bot to your website. So my example is a little different because I'm hosting this app locally, but it would apply to almost most scenarios. So you'd go back here to the dashboard, Botpress dashboard. You go to the bot, and then you go to integrations, and you click here in pre-configured. And also here are some settings you can change. We're not gonna use them for now, but let's just grab the script. So you copy this script. And for me, I'll just go ahead and add it in here. So you just need to add it somewhere in your website's HTML, and then it'll render. So now that we've added this, we can go here, let's refresh the page. And let me actually do it in an incognito window so we can test, because that one is retaining my previous test that I did. So let's try it out. Let's do hi. And let's say testing from website. Testing from website at gmail.com for the email. And then phone number, let's just give it another fake phone number. And let's say I just set up my first bot. So there you go. So now if we check Airtable, we should see a third lead in here. So there it is. So that's how you go about building a very basic bot, just to like capture leads information. Of course, Botpress, you can do many things with it. If you'd like to learn more or see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And if you're interested in creating a bot like this for your business, please feel free to reach out to us at automationagents.net. I will leave links down below in the description to our website, as well as the tools that we use in this video. Thanks for watching.